Hey guys, Chris from HT here, and today in this video we're going to be taking a look at mouth guards. Now what I thought would be a cool idea would be to compare what I consider to be your traditional mouth guards against what could possibly well be the future of mouth guards. Personally, I'm not particularly proud of this. I don't wear a mouth guard. The reason for that is because of the amount of discomfort that I experience when I'm wearing a mouth guard. When I'm on the ice, all I can think about is the fact that I have a mouth guard on, and the way I feel about protective equipment is that it should seamlessly integrate with the way that you do things when you're playing your sport. Like if you have the perfect pair of gloves, you don't think about the fact that you're wearing them, they just work and you just are able to focus on playing the game. For me personally, mouth guards have never ever given me that. But aside from the discomfort, it's the fact that they seriously restrict my breathing. I find myself constantly having to take my mouth guard out, to take a breath, to take a sip of water, or to speak, and then putting it back in, which is a phenomenal way to have, or to turn your mouth into a breeding ground for bacteria, because you're taking it out with your gloves, which aren't going to be usually so clean. You might be putting it down somewhere, picking it back up and putting it into your mouth. Great way to spread germs, great way to get sick, which I'm not a fan of, so I've always stayed clear of them. Now, the reason I wanted to film this video was to show players who may have experienced the same issue that there is an alternative. There is something that you can use to protect your teeth, to protect your mouth, that isn't going to compromise on your comfort and most importantly, your ability to breathe. So let's take a look. So typically when you're buying a mouthguard, you have three options. I'm going to start with the cheapest and work my way up to the most expensive. The first one is going to be your shock mouth protectors. These are effectively mouthguards that come ready to use out of the packet. You just open it, hopefully give the mouthguard a quick wash before you put it in your mouth, and you're good to go. Now the issue with these mouthguards is there is little to nothing that you can do to alter the fit and the comfort of the mouthguard. The way it feels and fits when you get it out the pack is what you're going to have when you're playing your sports or when you're on the ice playing hockey. Now when we look at the next point from that, that's going to be boil and bite mouthguards, which are probably going to be one of the most common, especially with the players that I play hockey with. The way these work is that you'll normally find that they'll be a little bit thicker, they have a little bit more layers, and they feature thermoplastic that when placed in water, the plastic becomes soft and moldable. You then bite into the mouthguard, allow it to set, and it takes to the shape of your teeth, offering you a much better fit than the first option. Now when we move up from that, the most expensive option, and the third option, is custom mouthguards. Now typically you need to go to a dental office or a lab so they can take a mold of the inside of your mouth, your teeth, and they basically construct the mouthguard around the mold of your mouth that they have, which means that you get a perfect fitting mouthguard because it's been custom made specifically for you and the shape of your teeth and your mouth. But that's going to have a hefty price tag. Now when we take a look at these new mouthguards from a company called SISU, they are incredibly thin, and when I mean thin, I mean like a credit card thin. They measure up at 1.6 millimeters in thickness, which is the thinnest mouthguard we have ever come across. The nature of this product is the entire structure of the mouthguard is moldable. When it's placed into water, the whole thing becomes soft and moldable, which means that it doesn't just mold to the shape of the bottom of your teeth, it takes the shape of the entire structure of the top of your mouth, offering you the most custom fit that you'll be able to get from a product that you can just purchase off of the shelf. Because the entire structure of the mouthguard becomes soft and you're able to then use your fingers to fit it around the shape of your teeth, you get an incredibly tailored fit, something that no other mouthguard has previously been able to offer you unless you go down the custom mouthguard route. Aside from this, the bottom of the mouthguard also allows you to have indentations from your bottom teeth, which means that when your mouth is closed, it fits seamlessly inside your mouth. Why I was drawn to these mouthguards is because they don't restrict your ability to breathe at all. You're also able to talk practically naturally, and it doesn't interfere with you being able to take sips of drinks. But most importantly, the mouthguard does not restrict your breathing and will not fall out of your mouth. So when we look at SISU's mouthguards compared to your traditional mouthguards, in this case, mouthguards from Shock Doctor, you're going to notice the fact that SISU's mouthguard is significantly, and I mean significantly thinner than any other mouthguard you've ever seen. Now that's going to raise some concerns about the level of protection it's able to offer. When we look at some of the other mouthguards, especially the multi-layered mouthguards, all of those layers and that bulkiness is there because any shocks or impacts that you sustain have to travel through all of those materials, all of those different layers before they reach your teeth. And that's the reason that mouthguards tend to be so bulky. When it comes to the size of mouthguards, bigger isn't always better with mouthguard material. SISU offers better protection than conventional mouthguards because it's custom fitted to each individual user's mouth. That means any of those small crevices or corners that boil and bite mouthguards can't get to, because of SISU's unique custom fit, it ensures every part of your mouth is properly protected. Aside from SISU's incredibly flat structure, something else that you'll notice is the holes or perforations featured throughout the whole of the mouthguard. They're there so during impacts they'll actually move to spread the force throughout the entire structure of the mouthguard rather than focus it at a single point like some conventional mouthguards. It's made from a non-compressible thermopolymer which has outstanding protective features that we wouldn't expect from a product that is so compact. In terms of the level of protection you're getting from this thing, I've taken, unfortunately, a couple of shoulders to the face, a couple of hits where I've also gone down, and I've not felt any less protected while I've been using SISU's mouthguard compared to the previous mouthguard that I used to use. But the benefits that I've noticed is the fact, again, it doesn't restrict my breathing, but most importantly, when I've taken a hit and I've gone down, the mouthguard hasn't popped out of my mouth, which is something I've experienced with a lot of other mouthguards. It fits incredibly comfortably in your mouth. I'm not going to lie to you and say that you're not going to be able to feel that it's there. You're going to know that it's there, but it's far less intrusive than any other mouthguard I've ever used. And because of how it fits and wraps around the top part of your mouth, the only way to remove it is actually with your fingers. This isn't the sort of mouthguard that you'll be able to spit out or that might fall on the ice accidentally. When we compare SISU's mouthguard to some of the bigger and thicker mouthguards that have those multi-layers of material that I mentioned, I'm not going to tell you that SISU's mouthguard is the most protective mouthguard on the planet, because larger mouthguards that have more layers, as we said, those layers are there to dampen or to cushion the impacts that you receive on the ice. More layers, more material for shocks to travel through, more protection you're going to get. But SISU's mouthguard has a great level of protection, but when you compare it to thicker bite and boil mouthguards, you do get a little bit of additional protection because of how thick and how many layers some of these mouthguards have, specifically some of the ones that we've seen from Shock Doctor. But the compromise here and the consideration that players need to make is, are all of those layers, that additional thickness and volume that takes up all of that space inside your mouth, which could lead to restrictions with your ability to breathe, definitely with your ability to speak and drink, are all of those compromises worth the extra level of protection? While I've been in SISU's mouthguards, I haven't felt exposed or underprotected. So it really comes down to the player and how much protection they want and what they find comfortable. But from where I'm standing, if anyone has ever experienced issues of discomfort and restrictions with breathing and all of the other things that I've covered, SISU's mouthguards are a phenomenal option. The way I feel about protective equipment is that it should integrate seamlessly into us playing our sports. We shouldn't have to think about the protective equipment that is on us because of how uncomfortable it is. If you saw my last Q&A video, I talked about this with CCM's helmets, how I didn't notice it was on my head, I just kind of played. That's exactly the same thing that I'm experiencing with SISU's mouthguards in comparison to the other ones that I've used. I'm able to get my head in the game, not think about what protective equipment is on my body, and just play. And that's been a phenomenal aid. But by far the biggest advantage with SISU's mouthguards is that they are remoldable. There is no set amount of time that you can remold and reform these mouthguards to your teeth. Now what I mean by this, something I experienced with the previous mouthguards that I used was at the end of the season when I put the mouthguard away, at the start of the new season when I took it out and tried to put it into my mouth, it didn't fit. The reason for that was because my teeth had actually moved very, very slightly, but because my mouthguard was molded to my teeth the last season, the slight movement that I had in my mouth meant the mouthguard this season felt incredibly uncomfortable. I tried to do as much as I could to make it fit, but in the end I simply had to replace the mouthguard. SISU's mouthguards, because there is no set amount of times that you can remold them, all you need to do is put it back into hot water and the mouthguard will go from having taken the shape of your teeth to going completely flat to the same way you got it outside the box. Which means at the end of the season you can store the mouthguard away completely flat, and at the beginning of a new season, you can reform it to your mouth, making sure that you have a custom fit for that moment in time, which for me was phenomenal. That is the main reason that I've been so drawn to these mouthguards, because if there are any slight changes in your mouth, if you have dental work done and your old mouthguard no longer fits you, you can just remold and reform SISU's mouthguards, which has been the biggest advantage yet. So hopefully guys, this has given you a little bit of insight into some of the other options that are available on today's market. Mouthguards are something that every single player should wear. It doesn't matter where you live, what level you play at. This is something that should be inside your bag, and it should be something that you use because you want to do everything that you can to protect your teeth, the inside of your cheek, your tongue. All of these elements of your mouth need to be protected while you're playing sports, and that's exactly why wearing mouthguards is so essential. Thanks a lot for watching this, guys. If you want to see more information on these mouthguards, and also if you want to see a little bit more information about how each of these mouthguards is fitted, I'll include links down below in the video description so you can check that out. But please make sure you thumbs up the video if you like this content, subscribe so you can keep up to date with everything that we post, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care, guys.